Hi friends, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. My name is Allie, and today I'm going to be channeling from the Most High what you need to release in order to clear any blocks you may have to abundance coming in. So I feel like you will be divinely guided to this reading if you're ready to make the changes that come through, or if you're open to receive what that message might be of what needs to be released. And so we actually have a new deck we're going to use for the channel, and I'm really excited about that. But for the pick a card portion, we're going back to one of my OG decks, Oracle decks, the Seed and the Sickle. And as I say this to you that we're using this, it just seems so incredibly fitting. What we need to grow and what we need to rid ourselves of or release in order for our abundance to come in, to remove these blocks. And now I'm recording this on the eve of the last full moon, the last full super moon of 2024. And to my understanding, we will not have another super moon like this for, I believe, the next 12 months. So this is big energy. And full moons are all about releasing, surrendering, giving it back to spirit, what no longer serves you, cutting ties, cutting cords. So spirit, may we have 3 cards for the 3 different piles. Thank you. Here's 2. One more. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, I feel it like this. So for pile number 1, and I think I will do crystals on these too. I just kind of feel called. For pile number 1, we have hops with this piece of unakite. I believe that's what that is. For pile 2, we have ivy number 35 with prainite. And for number 3, we have elder number 34 with Dalmatian jasper. So close your eyes, take a deep breath in for 4, hold that breath for 4, and release it through your mouth for 4 seconds. And do that a couple times if you feel like it. It's a wonderful grounding technique. Use your intuition to help you decide, or ask your spiritual team which pile or piles are meant for you, to help give you that clarity and that roadmap of the things that need to be released in your life in order to remove those blocks to abundance that may be existing there. And once you've made your selection, those timestamps will be in the description box and also in the comments, so you can easily jump to your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Welcome, pile 1. This is for those of you that picked hops number 26, or the unakite crystal. And Spirit asked me to read from the book. So what's unique about this deck, this Seed and Sickle deck, and I'm going to show you like I'll show the other piles because it's significant. So what's significant about this deck is it has 2 guidebooks. It has the Dawn guidebook and the Dusk guidebook. And so the Seed, Dawn, tells you what you need to grow, and the Sickle guidebook shows you what you need to release. So I love the way Spirit works, because I wasn't even thinking about that aspect of this deck. I just got it back from one of my very best friends who borrowed it for a little while. And so I was just excited to use it. And as I was telling this in the intro, it kind of popped into my awareness of how significant is this deck for the reading that we're doing. Beautiful. So it says, page 70, number 7 might resonate for someone. The hop vine speeds ahead through life, voraciously grabbing at each new hurdle it must conquer. But as it grows, its leaves, But as it grows, it leaves behind clusters of flowers, and these take life much more casually. With the vine having done the hard work already, they can now reap the benefits. Hop flowers are a great treatment for anxiety and insomnia. Step back, find a spot in the sun, and soak up that restful energy. So the first thing that's coming through here for me is I do feel like you are someone who just naturally and for a long time has wrestled with anxiety. You may have been diagnosed even with an anxiety or a panic disorder, or just nervous energy that you have a really difficult time finding the right outlet for. And Spirit's actually coming through to let you know that this is a block or a hindrance to your growth and your abundance. And now this is not to shame you, because I can feel some of you saying, if I could get rid of this, I would have got rid of it, Spirit. And I can also feel some of you have actually prayed and asked Spirit to remove this from you. And there's some other element here that we haven't looked at, that we haven't investigated or seen, where maybe we've been moving a little too quickly to find these little sprouts or flowers of serenity, of calm, of being able to take a deep breath along the way, because it feels like this has been something you have wrestled with since you were a small child, like very young. I don't know if any of you have ever had any kind of OCD tendencies, or if you were ever diagnosed with that, but that is also coming through as maybe a starting place from when you were young as a child, that actually fostered this deep-rooted anxiety that you carry. And so that is coming through here for me as something that Spirit's wanting to help you recognize and dissect and slow down and look at this, okay? It's interesting because I feel like I'm having to swallow a lot, like my mouth is getting dry, and these are physical manifestations of the anxiety that I think you experience. So it's giving me this all-consuming, that it's an all-consuming energy, that it blocks you from even fully participating in life sometimes. You know, you could be somebody whose hands get really sweaty and like uncomfortable social interactions, or maybe not even uncomfortable so much as just like new social interactions. Or if you have to speak in front of people, but on like a really intense degree. I think you'd rather throw yourself out of a burning building than have to stand in front of people and give a speech. That's the kind of level of anxiety that's coming through here for me. Spirit, can we have more messages about... Whoa, did you see that? Okay, so we have number 52. Another 7 reduces to another number 7. It says magic works through you. Scarab beetle. And I think actually this is something that was, how do I want to word this, Spirit? Something that you were experiencing as a young child. Magical, I want to say magical abilities, psychic powers, intuition, reading people, places, and situations, maybe seeing things, hearing things, just knowing things that you didn't have a good support system to help foster that, and so it bred a lot of feelings of fear. And so that OCD thing is coming back up as maybe a way, thank you, a way to help kind of cope with things you were experiencing that you couldn't explain and didn't have a good support. When I say you didn't have a good support system, I think it might just be as far as these things go. So you were really in the dark. You were really navigating these energies as a child without any help. And so it manifested in these unhealthy ways. It may have even, as a young person and as an adult, began to manifest in unhealthy coping mechanisms. And I don't even know if you consciously knew the root of where this was coming from. But Spirit's letting us know that this is kind of where that's at. And there's a big theme about past lives. So you may have intuitively, or maybe you've had past life sessions where you were really persecuted for your magic in past lives, the way that you used it. I feel very unjustly, very unfairly. And it's not just in one incarnation, it's many. It's like this theme that's carried with you. And Spirit's wanting to help you release that, because they're coming through very clearly saying your magic is directly connected to source. It is not dark. It is not evil. There is nothing bad connected to it. And this lifetime is to help you realize your power and reclaim your power, knowing that it is a divinely given, God-given magic from source. You came here to do incredible things, to help other people with your incredible gifts, and to really release this block of abundance. We have to get to the root of where these anxieties that have led to unhealthy coping mechanisms and not feeling like you're fully in your power, where these things lie, to help release them, to cut that cord. So now if you're watching this on the day it's released of the full moon, or 3 days after, really they're saying you can do this anytime. Anytime you see this, do it. But there's that heightened energy of doing it, this releasing ritual, if you will, however that looks like for you. If you're not someone who wants to do a cord cutting ceremony, all you have to do, and this came up in the previous reading, if this came up in the previous reading that I did and that was your pile, then this is even more your message, just a confirmation for you. You can do that at any time. You don't have to wait for the full moon to do it. I mean, these are just, we're talking about energies. So yeah, it's amazing if you can do it in that energy, but you're not required. It's not a requirement. You have all of this magical knowledge, some of it laying dormant within you. Some of it you have tapped into and began to excavate and explore. And Spirit wants to help you literally turn that knowledge into wisdom, to allow it to work through you so you can share it, so you can manifest and create exactly heaven on earth for you and for others. It's not just you, it's for others too. And for you to be able to share, ultimately share how you worked through this energy that you've carried almost all your life and turned it into something beautiful and empowering and positive. And then you're going to go on and empower other people, okay? So where are we being guided? I am being guided to our new deck, Angels and Auras. You know, there's something with the scarab beetle. It always reminds me of ancient Egypt. And while I do think there, you know, when we were talking about those past lives of persecution, my mind immediately went to, as an example, I'm not going to say this is your story specifically. You know, I sincerely encourage you to get a past life reading if you feel called, so you can get specifics. But Salem witch trials, or was it in Scotland or Ireland, you know, where they were just murdering women and children, that somebody got mad at someone and said they're a witch, and then, you know, you get murdered, kind of a thing, where everybody was freaked out about witches. So it was something like that. But the scarab beetle always gives me this ancient Egypt feeling, but I'm getting almost even earlier than that. I personally believe we're in, I think, the 5th incarnation of humanity. And so like Lemuria, when we talk about Lemuria, Atlantis, these places that, you know, some people may or may not believe existed. I truly believe those were previous incarnations of humanity on Earth. And so it's like that kind of ancient energy is what's coming through. So this is old. This is old. And it makes perfect sense that this is something you've carried with you through lifetimes, started early in childhood, and that you're still wrestling with today, whatever age you may be. This is what, and this is big. Like Spirit says, you're ready to let it go. This angelic source connection frequency is coming through. My mouth is still really dry. I'm going to take a sip of my water. Let's go ahead, because we're talking about ancient anxieties, and take a deep breath together if you feel called. Okay. Because you're a very bountiful energy. Inherently, you are abundant. You are meant to be abundant in this life. Spirit wants to give you your birthright of abundance by helping you move through and cut cords, cut the ties to this anxiety. You don't need to carry this anymore, my friend. Thank you. Career transition. What else does pile 1 need to release for blocks? What blocks need to be released to their abundance, Spirit? Anything else from this deck? Thank you. Okay, and this is have confidence, but it's in the reverse. And I love this. I'll show you. This deck has upright and reversed energies. So at the bottom, we have perfect timing, and it's in the shape of a moon and a sun. It's literally the perfect timing through this full moon portal, if you will, okay, to do this work. I cannot encourage you enough. Use your voice, write it out. Spirit's telling me this can be as simple as writing out, I release any and all anxieties from the past, present, or future. They are not mine, they do not belong to me, and I give them back to Spirit for eternity, for good. So I would really encourage you to do that. It's going to be extremely healing. It's going to literally be like walking from one old life into this light, free. My gosh. I don't know if you've ever had a near-death experience or really had to like look death in the face or contemplate your own mortality. But what's coming through here for me, I'm going to mention myself because it's pertinent to the reading. And so I had a near-death experience, which really, and I lost a child, a baby at the same time. And this is what spurred my spiritual awakening. And because I had this near-death experience, I kind of became obsessed about learning about other people who had had similar experiences and what they experienced in their near-death experience. And the most common theme about people who have been that close to crossing over is this feeling of kind of this release from their body. It actually makes me a little uncomfortable to talk about because I can feel it so potently. But what's coming through here is this divine kind of pop or release of pressure, of weight, and then you're just this free essence in all there is, in divine love, which is all there is. Love is the only thing that is real. That is a book that you should absolutely read. Because of your reading, I can't recommend it enough. I'll try to put it in the description box. And so that's what that's giving me, is as you release this, as you release doubt, It says doubt, scattered, passive, tense. Yes, this tense, doubtful, worried energy. I feel like it affects your health in some ways. You might be somebody who's obsessed with being on time, or just time in general, time running out. It's like these are things Spirit wants to help you release, this constant anxiety. Everything is anxious, anxiety. And I don't even know how cognizant you are of it all the time is the thing. Truly, I think it's something you've lived with for so long that you almost think it's a part of your personality. And they're saying it's not. There's also something coming through here very clearly about work, career, higher learning, a new path. But it feels a very spiritual, heart-centered, divinely led path that is coming up for you, part of your abundance, change, excitement, opportunity, advancement. That's part of your abundance that's coming through on the other side of this releasing work. And I think to some extent this could be painful. It seems silly to say this because I feel like you're thinking, that's silly. Why would I ever want to be anxious? But it's almost like when somebody starts to lose a bunch of weight and they're like, but in a weird kind of way, they're kind of mourning who they used to be, the way they carry themselves, and they feel kind of off kilter because they don't really know how to move in this new body or dress the new body. They may still sit with a pillow over their stomach, or wear like baggy sweaters or things like that, where they have an uncomfortability of being seen, even though they were miserable the way they were before. So it's kind of that energy of subconsciously, it might actually be a little hard to accept, cutting ties for good with this piece that you have perceived to be part of your personality. But what Spirit's telling me is this was always meant to happen in divine timing at this point in your life. And I read something today that was just so on the nose, and it was how divine timing has nothing to do with time. Divine timing has nothing to do with time because time isn't real. Time is a man-made construct. So when you are energetically in alignment for that thing with which you desire, divine timing can happen tomorrow. Oh, I have full body chills. So you right now are in alignment to release this past version of you and walk into this completely new, I'm seeing little particles of light, just like an explosion of a solid form into little particles of light in space. And so that's going to feel a little disorienting. And it's going to tug at your heartstrings a little. And it's going to feel disorienting when you're walking around and realize you're not carrying the weight of that anxiety anymore. But know that freedom of magic working through you is unlike anything you've experienced right now. The Dawn version of the Hops card talks about how voraciously you grow, how you're ready to just take things on and see how far you can grow and climb and the heights that you can reach, and like a reach for the stars kind of energy, no holds barred, nothing holding you back. And I just want to encourage you that is what is on the other side of this releasing work that you're gonna do. You're gonna do it. Oh, listen to the train for confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, train. Okay, so let's just see if there's any more messages that want to come through here. Any more messages about what pile 1 needs to release. So essentially what they're asking you to do is your own version, however that feels like to you, an intentional an intentional energy clearing, cord cutting ceremony. And it doesn't have to be anything elaborate, or it could be as elaborate as you would desire it to be. It could be as simple as using your voice and asking Creator and your spiritual team to remove this from me once and for all. I'm ready. I'm ready. It could be as elaborate as, going and doing candles and twine and sitting with it. Be sure that you're safe anytime you work with fire, and doing an entire magical ritual, where you create the space and cleanse your body, go through all the steps to do a safe and healthy cord cutting ritual. Whatever it looks like for you, that's how they would like for you, your spiritual team, to spend your full moon energy. Or again, whenever you find this reading. It's time. You are in divine alignment. Spirit, is there anything else that you want to say to pile 1 about removing blocks to their abundance? Please and thank you. Anything? Thank you so much. Look at that. Judgment in reverse. Hearing the call, but having anxiety to listen, to take advice. And Page of Swords. Yeah, there's this anxiety about trying something new, about answering the call, releasing what doesn't serve you. You've been so used to walking on this tightrope and juggling all these plates that there's this anxiety coming through about answering the call. There's also an anxiety about just being open to something new. And this is normal. I don't know if you can see this, and I hope so much that you can, but there's these little dots here, and they literally follow into this card. So it's allowing yourself, remember those little points of light, allowing yourself to dissolve, to be dissolved, to be birthed into something new, to have a new idea, to have a new perspective. That's what it is. Allowing yourself to have a new perspective about who you are and who you can be, who you are able to be. All of this work, they're telling me, of you moving into your abundance is directly related to your perspective about yourself and what you're able to achieve, what you're able to release, that you are worthy of stepping into a brand new version of you that you haven't met yet. This is a big part of your life path, they're telling me. And what do you get on the other side of this? Look at this. Ace of Pentacles. Not only a new beginning of growth, a new start, but you have a new beginning in career, in finances, and how you show up in the world, in your literal abundance. A new beginning in your abundance. I mean, it couldn't be any more clear. Yeah. That's what you get by doing this very important cord cutting work. Okay. I think that's what we have for you, Pile 1. I sincerely hope this is helpful for you. I am rooting for you. You deserve this new beginning. You've been walking on a tightrope, anxiously holding your breath for so long that it's going to feel different on the other side of that. But you're ready. You are ready for this now. It's time now. Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe if you feel called. Leave a comment. Maybe leave a scarab beetle, or you could leave a wolf emoji, or just a purple heart or an owl. Those are all really easy ways to help let me know that you got to the end of your reading. It helps other people find the reading that would help them. It just is so immensely helpful. If you would like to book a personal reading, you can go to my website at theseaowl.com. And more than anything, Group 1, please take excellent care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Hi, Pile 2. How are you? This is for those of you that picked Ivy, number 35, or the pre-night crystal. Prehnite is a very spiritual crystal. Helps with psychic awareness, attunement, clear seeing. If you feel called, I would look up more information about it. That's just what I remember off the top of my head. And as much as I love crystals, I have so many, it's hard for me to keep track of all of their meanings. But ivy is really interesting. So I'm telling all the groups, the seed and sickle deck here that we're using is one of my first decks. One of my very best friends borrowed it for a while, and I just got it back, so I was excited to use it. And it wasn't until I sat down to pull the cards with you in the intro that I had that realization of what this deck means. So what's so special about it is it comes with 2 guidebooks. So it has the dawn for things that you want to grow, and dusk for things that, like sickle, that need to be released. So I thought that was really amazing. I love how spirit works, and I feel guided to read the book for you for Ivy on what is to be released, and then we'll pull some cards. So, borrowing from Ivy's steady and determined perseverance, you have reached new heights, unfurling your leaves to the sun. The obstacles that blocked your way have become the ladder rungs that now hold you up, a testament to your journey so far. But that path beneath you is starting to crumble and you're beginning to wobble. It may feel as though your position is unstable, but don't be afraid to let go of your safety net below. The next step is within reach. And this is page 90. So some of you could have been born in 1990, or just the number 9 might be significant to you. But what's really amazing is that Ivy talks about not giving up. It's a slow growing vine. It takes its time. It takes a while, but it can reach whatever heights it wishes to reach over time and with perseverance, like the booklet just said. And I feel like this is you in a nutshell. You are persistent and you are dedicated. You are excited. Maybe excited's a little too strong. Spirit's kind of like, I don't know about excited, but you're willing. You're a willing participant in this existence to do the work, to put in the work. You're here for the long haul. But I do feel like what we just read, I feel an energy of almost kind of exhaustion of, I don't feel like you're someone who's going to give up, but I do feel like you're tired, and it makes perfect sense that you would be here in this reading to get more information on what work you need to do, what needs to be done to release these blocks so you can finally get to your abundance. Number 35 reduces to an 8. And we're in an 8 year right now. 2024, when I'm recording this, is an 8 year. And 8 is about strength. And I feel like this year particularly has been an endurance test in strength on many different levels for you. In your faith, in your personal physical health, in just navigating day-to-day life has been an endurance test for you. I feel called to use the Urban Crow Oracle for you to get more information about what is it that we need to release to remove these blocks to your abundance. So please and thank you, Spirit. Whoa. Okay, what does that mean? Everything just like shifted and got very disheveled. Like things are chaotic and crazy, but it's split at illusion. It's asking you to look at your perspective on things. What is chaotic that is not, what perceives to be chaotic, unstable, shifting rapidly, that maybe you're not seeing or allowing yourself to see the whole picture, okay? So like the book was saying, you might feel unstable, you might feel wobbly, like everything's crumbling around you, but Spirit's saying, but is it? So it's giving tower energy, okay? It's giving this, everything has to come down and be demolished, ground zero, in order to build a solid, steady foundation, because ivy can grow just about anywhere. Ivy clings to what it grows to, and it may take a while, but it will grow. And you are able to grow in nearly any conditions, not nearly, in any conditions you are put in. You have a resilient, powerful spirit that is very strong, very resilient. And so allow yourself to look at things that are crumbling in a different way, in a different light. Instead of it pulling the rug out from under you, or feeling like tectonic plates shifting like an earthquake, and everything's getting jumbled up and nothing's the same as it was, and all hell's breaking loose. Look at it from a different perspective. Is this actually a tower moment to get me where I really want to be, which is this perfect level ground of creation? Because where you were, I don't think was that stable. I think you've been working on your stability. Spirit, what does pile 2 need to release, to remove, thank you, to remove these blocks to abundance? Please and thank you. Play. So I do think that's one thing you haven't been doing. I think you've been working so hard on your stability that you haven't been allowing enough room for play in your life. Number 17, exposed. Another 8. Very interesting. And then we have number 36, which reduces to a 9 with play. Are you too available? I'm hearing that quote from Mr. Rogers' mom, look for the helpers. But are you too available? Are you constantly not only working on yourself, but helping other people? And there's not any room in here for light, for fun, just for the sake of fun, for creating just for the sake of creating. Is everything have to have a purpose for you in order for you to feel like you're doing the phrase they're giving me is so you can feel like you're doing God's work. So you feel like you're on the right path at all times. Work is being done. I feel like you might be in a loop where you're like, if I'm not working at my job, I'm working to help my friends, I'm working to help my family, I'm working on personal growth, I'm working. Do you not sit down and just watch a show or color or dance or play an instrument or read a paperback book, paint a wooden birdhouse just for fun? I feel like there's something about maybe even allowing individuals into your personal space in a loving way. Like, Spirit's not saying you need to cut everybody out and don't let anybody come over, but it is an energy of finding that balance and maybe being more discerning about who is allowed in your energy. I just feel like you have such a soft heart as well. And not only do you want to do this work, you're enthusiastic even when you're tired about doing all of this work, but there's no room here left for just fun and joy for the sake of fun and joy. I feel like you're almost on high alert, like what's the next thing that I can do to help? Like you're someone where there's a hurricane and you're jumping in, or you're donating resources, or you're, what's the word I'm looking for? You're finding groups of people to help in areas where they need help. And so you're not pausing. And that's great. I keep hearing again, look for the helpers. But those helpers also need a release. They also need to take a deep breath and just have fun for the sake of having fun. This Earth walk is not about grinding in whatever way that looks like for you, you know, grinding at work or hustling. It's not about hustle culture. And I think you know this, and I think you might participate in that hustle culture in unconventional ways where you don't look at it and think, well, I'm not working 90 hours a week, but you might be, because you're driving this person somewhere, you're volunteering at a food bank, or you're going through your old clothes to donate them, or, you know, you're cleaning out your mom's fridge. It's like always something. But Spirit's wanting to come through and say, this is actually, what I'm hearing is actually a defense mechanism. By constantly being on, by constantly doing and helping and working on yourself. Even work on yourself deserves a break once in a while. I'm hearing you're not going to get to this abundance destination any faster by working and working and working and working on yourself. In fact, what they're saying with this reading is it's actually slowing that wheel. It's actually a block. So it might feel really foreign for you to go outside and play in the rain, just like what these birds are doing. It might feel very foreign for you to go sit in a park and just listen to the birds, or watch the flowers, or watch people walk by. To just go get, a fancy drink or something and just people watch, or read a book. That might feel really foreign, and I can almost see you like kind of squirming in your seat, looking around like, has somebody dropped anything yet? Can I get up and help someone? Can I open the door? Waiting for your phone to ring. So-and-so needs help or needs a ride somewhere. But you have to prioritize this for yourself. You have to. That is your abundance block. Okay. I feel like that's a very, very clear kind of cut and dry message. And what an amazing message to get from Spirit. Play more. That is your advice. That is almost your homework assignment from Spirit. Play more. You need more joy. Your soul is always going to be a helper. That's just who you are. They're not telling you to not be who you are in that way. But to maybe not rely on doing instead of being. Does that make sense? There is movement in simply being, energetically. Ooh, I need to write that down for myself. That's a good reminder. Maybe you grew up in a household where laying on the couch and watching a TV show was deemed as being lazy. Maybe you were raised in an environment where your worth was wrapped up in how much you were involved in and doing, and just allowing yourself space to enjoy something for the sake of enjoying it was deemed as lazy. And that really needs shifted. That perspective needs shifted. Spirit's coming through very strongly with that, because there is joy on this planet, because joy is part of the process. It is part of what we came here to experience. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to take a sip of my water real quick. Okay. So allowing more joy in your life. Allowing yourself to put your phone on Do Not Disturb for a few hours in an evening. The world will not burn. People will not run out into the street. They might tell you like, hey, I'm freaking out. Where are you? But know that that's their stuff to work through. Okay, so Spirit, what else can you tell us this pile 2 needs to release in order to make room for this abundance? What else does pile 2? Thank you so much. Look at that. You're ready. Number 43. I actually feel like that card too. I feel like that's an important number for someone. It also reduces to a 7. So we have 7, 8, 9 here so far. And there's a bike here, maybe riding bikes rollerblading, being outside, taking a hike, anything that brings you joy, that gets you out of this routine. You're always going to be in a state of momentum. But look, he's sitting down working on the bike. He's not riding the bike, but there's still momentum there. There's still that feeling of accomplishment, of something being done, but he's working on something. He's not physically moving, doing something. I mean, he is working on the bike, but what I'm getting at, he's not riding the bike. He's taking a moment to take care of it. Maybe you need to also indulge in a little more self-care, like a ritualistic bath, with bath salts and essential oils, or, treating yourself to a massage or a facial, something like that, something that forces you to pause, and there's still momentum in that stillness, in that self-care. In fact, that's what helps it move faster, because he's taking the time to work on the bike instead of just riding it till the wheels fall off. There's this feather here on his arm, and I don't know if you can see that. That's really standing out to me. So for a small number of you, going to get a tattoo might be part of your self-care. That might be something fun for you to do too, that you have never done before, or you haven't done in a really long time because you've been so preoccupied with everything else that you're trying to do and accomplish. But I think that, that might be something for someone. Maybe you like tinkering on things, repairing things, putting things back together. Tap into the things that give you a sense of calm and also joy. Allow yourself to continue your momentum, but in a joyful, playful way. Okay? And then we have reality check, number 31. Assessment, exploration, honesty, determination. Yeah. There's something about allowing yourself that time to pause, to become more connected with spirit, with your spiritual team, with yourself. Become more connected with yourself. It allows you to become even more enlightened, to become more adaptable to those tectonic plates shifting, and you're trying to be the stability all the time. The world will keep going, even when you allow yourself time to experience joy, time to slow down, time to be in stillness in an activity. So we're not even talking about meditation. Don't stop your meditation, please. But don't count the meditation as this. Because that is, again, needed and intentional soul work when we do meditation. And it can be joyful. But what they're talking about is more actual play. Okay? Assessing where your energy output is and reallocating some of that to things that light you up. Okay, let's just see if there's anything else that wants to come through before we end your reading here. If this has resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe, or leave a comment. You could leave a unicorn emoji, a purple heart, a bicycle. Those would all be wonderful ways to help the algorithm and also help me, and encourages me more than you could ever know, to let me know that you got through your reading here. But please and thank you, Spirit. Any other messages that you have for group 2 about what you would like for them to release, to remove their blocks to abundance? I just keep thinking, what an amazing thing. I mean, I know this is probably going to be a bit challenging for you in the energy that you're currently in. But what an amazing thing that Spirit's telling you what is going to lead you to your abundance is having more fun. You know, that's not really what I grew up with. I grew up with work, work, work. And I'm trying to navigate that myself now. So I know it's easier said than done, but just what a message. Play. Thank you, Spirit. We have 10 of Wands. Oh, wow. Thank you, Spirit. We have the Hanged Man. This very serious, heavy energy. What needs to be released for pile? Thank you, Spirit. Pile 2. We have the World, and we have 6 of Pentacles. Overgiving. They want you to stop the overgiving, the having to be and do all things for everyone you know and then some. This does not mean you're not a helper. You will. That's who you are. That is innately who you are. That's not changing. It's reassessing, exploring where your energy is going, reallocating that energy, being honest with yourself about what you give so much. You give so much to other people. You're constantly doing this introspective work. You are someone who wants to be Odin. Well, okay, hear me out. Odin, hangs on the tree of life, plucks out an eye to be omniscient, to have all the knowledge that there is to have in the universe. And I feel like in your own very selfless way, that is how you feel, in a selflessness to gain knowledge, to help other people in any way that you can. Because in turn, it helps you, it gives back to you. But there has to be this completion energy in how you had been giving energy before. It was too much giving and not enough to yourself. Too much giving to other people, other things, other energies, and not enough to yourself in the way that yourself needs it. It needs you to do the shadow work, the internal work, the introspection, the meditation, and also the joy and the fun and the light and the relaxing. Your soul needs that. Yes. And then look at what we have at the bottom for you. By doing this, Ace of Swords, exactly what your soul is after. That amazing gift of wisdom. There's a crow right here, of wisdom, of intuition, of knowledge, just like we were talking about with Odin. Odin may be a guy that you actually work with. And maybe that's why I was called for the Urban Crow Tarot for you. That is your gift that you will be receiving. Part of your abundance is this undeniable, unimaginable knowledge of the universe, of spirituality, of spirit, that connection, that unbridled, joyful, heart-centered connection. You are such a pure soul. They keep giving me Mr. Rogers, and I'm getting emotional because he really wanted to help people for the sake of helping people and helping uplift humanity. And you know what is so crazy? Number 43, Mr. Rogers weighed 143 pounds his entire adult life. And he would tell his wife that was his sole plan fulfilled, because 143 is a number for I love you. And it's a number of unconditional love. So I love you, 143 is what he would say. And that was the weight that he was his entire adult life. And so that is what I feel from you. You're an unconditional being. You love hard. You love unconditionally. You will give and give and give until, like the giving tree. Ooh, Spirit, you can make me cry. The giving tree, where there's nothing left to give except for the cut down stump of the tree. Give that love to yourself in the form of play, of just stillness, of rest. Give that to yourself. That will release your blocks. That is what all you need to do and all you need to know. Okay. What a blessing this reading was to channel for you. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Pile 2. please like, share, or subscribe. Leave a comment if you feel called. You can email me if you feel called and want to connect that way, or if you'd like to book a personal reading, you can go to theseaowl.com. And more than anything, Pile 2, please take excellent care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. This is for those of you that picked Elder, number 34, or the Dalmatian Jasper. So I've told every reading, so I'm going to tell you. We're using this deck, the Seed and Sickle deck. It's one of my original Oracle decks, and one of my very best friends had borrowed it for a while, and I just got it back, so I was excited to use it for this reading. And it wasn't until the beginning of the intro, when I was pulling these cards with you, that I had the realization of what this deck means. So it's the Seed and Sickle deck, and it comes with two different guidebooks, the Dawn guidebook and the Dusk guidebook. So Dawn is about, what you want to, the seed, what you want to grow and create, and the Dusk is the sickle, what you want to release. Okay, so Elder is very magical, very magical. It can have kind of a little bit of a trickster energy at times, but we're going to go ahead and read from the book because I feel very guided. I felt guided in every reading to read from the Sickle or the Dusk guidebook. All right, so we're looking for 34. So 34, the number 7 could be significant to you. And now we have the number 89. That could be significant to you too, maybe the year you were born. So we have the knots in the elder tree are used by the German Waldgeister as doorways through the forest. Waldgeister? I don't know what that is. As doorways through the forest. A new opportunity for you, and only you, is coming into your life soon. But like the elder gateways, it may not be instantly recognizable. Only you will see it for what it is. So keep your eyes peeled for signs that seem particularly personal to you. Now, what's interesting is in the Dawn version of this card, it talks about how you could be tempted on whatever road you're on right now to slow down. So it says, we'll just read this one too. For the Dawn, it says, the elder is a tree beloved by mischievous magic and inhabited by pixies and ghosts around the world. Stopping beneath it for too long may lull you into a long and gripping sleep. Drawing this card is a warning. You may soon be tempted to slow down and take things easier, but doing so may mean you miss some key opportunities. Whatever waits to lure you away from your goal, don't let it distract your focus. So very interesting here. I think the key word here has something to do about opportunities, and maybe you can feel these opportunities intuitively. I do feel like you're a very magical, psychic person. And so I feel like maybe you can sense that there are opportunities, there are keys, there are people about to come into your awareness, maybe that you don't even know of yet. And so you're kind of on high alert about who's it going to be, what's it going to be, what's it going to look like. But I feel this feeling of Spirit saying, keep your eyes open and your heart open and keep doing what you're doing, but you may not be able to see this so clearly. It's going to be made known to you when it's supposed to be in divine timing. But don't go out of your way or stop any kind of momentum that you have in anything you're doing by constantly looking for who's the person who's going to give me the opportunity. I hope that makes sense and resonates for you. Let's go ahead and get some animal cards here to get more information for you. Yeah, it's kind of like a stop. I feel like you feel it so intensely that there's something around the bend. There's something coming. Some kind of offer, some opportunity, some new beginning, a new road. You can feel it so intensely that you're almost kind of locked up, seized up. Like you can't go any further from where you are right now because you're so caught up in this intuitive knowing that something's coming, something's going to change. Who is it? What is it? I feel like it's almost kind of got you locked up in a certain kind of a way. So to start, Spirit's wanting to ask you to let this energy flow, to not block that dam, that you will know when it comes. Keep your eyes open, but don't be looking around every corner, examining every face, every situation, looking for things that maybe aren't there. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. For group 3, what do they need to release in order to allow their abundance to come in? What is it that group 3 needs to release for their abundance to come in? Please and thank you. How can they remove? Thank you so much. Trust the great mystery. Is that not what we were just talking about? To trust, to not be looking around every corner, to flow, just like whale. That is wild. And then we have lion spirit, be generous of spirit. Interesting. 37, which reduces to a 10. Are you someone that people could be maybe a little bit intimidated by? Have you been told that you have an intimidating energy? Or do you also feel like you have gone without for so long? That you've had people treat you poorly or take advantage of you, a mischievous energy, but on a much darker scale, more painful. That you've kind of closed your energy off a little bit, that you've taken a step back, that you kind of put your hand up to new people. Even though you sense this opportunity, you know something's coming, I feel like you have kind of a box built around yourself where people can only get so close. They can only see so much of you. I feel like you created boundaries around yourself that have become too rigid, too thick, where it could almost prohibit a new opportunity from even being able to access you or reach you. Now, this isn't to say, and I just don't think you're this kind of person, to be willy-nilly with your energy and just to freely give, oh, you need it here, you need it here. I don't feel like you're that person anyway. But I do feel like in the essence of who you are is this whale, this free-flowing, you can go to the depths and back again. You know how to traverse the ocean, okay? And so I feel like people have, this is awful what they're giving me, but I understand, Spirit, taken advantage of you. So what I'm getting is like whaling ships, particularly in the 1800s. They would hunt whales in the most horrendous way, and they didn't even use the meat. They just took the blubber to light their lamps. And sometimes their boat would crash or they'd run out of food, and they would just take the whale that they had murdered and just leave it, cut it loose from their ship. I mean, really awful stuff, And so I feel like people have used you and abused you in such a way that you realized you needed to put up boundaries, and over time, those have become really thick. And I can feel kind of a loneliness, this isolation. Spirit just keeps giving me this box around yourself where maybe people see you and they're like, they immediately look at your energy and think that person's intimidating. I'm just not even gonna try. They don't seem. Please take this with love, because this is to help you. But your boundaries and your energy may be one where you don't seem very approachable at the moment. And please, I am not saying this to hurt you. I can't reiterate that enough. I'm just trying to help you see where you are so this abundance can come in, because I do feel like your abundance is directly tied to an opportunity that is meant for you. But we need to work on what kind of energy you project and what kind of boundaries you have right now. Right now, I feel like you have a reinforced 10-foot concrete box wall around you on all sides. And you built this to keep you safe because people kept taking advantage of your kindness, of your depth, of your purity, maybe even of your abilities, psychic abilities, intuitive abilities. And Spirit is just wanting to let you know with this 10, you know, it's time to back off these boundaries some. They're a little too thick, the walls are too high. You've kind of made yourself unapproachable, unreachable. And you're looking everywhere for this opportunity that you feel is coming, for this new start. For some of you, it seems very career oriented. And you're looking everywhere for it. You're waiting for it. You're manifesting it. You're calling it in. And you're like, why is this not happening yet? And it's like, because the walls that you've built are too thick. So we have to dismantle them some. You should always have healthy boundaries. You've learned how to build those boundaries. You've learned it. You're like, you could teach a master class in building boundaries right now, but they're just too much. So we got to find that balance where you are protected, you have healthy, beautiful boundaries, that you're also approachable, that people feel like they can just come up and talk to you. Because I think you want that. I think you want more friendships. You want more connections. You don't want to feel so isolated. I do feel like you have like 3 people in this box with you that you've let in. There's like 3 people that you're like, yeah, you're solid. You can come in my fortress. But everybody else is at 10 arm distances away, just like this hand, right? So that's what Spirit's wanting to help you recognize, to work through, to dismantle and release. And I'm grateful for the train for confirmation. What else, Spirit? What else does pile 3 need to know to release? I keep being drawn back to what a magical energy you are. Now look at this. Whales are so magical to me. They can talk to each other like, I don't even know how many miles through the water. They have their own language through frequency. I mean, come on. They can hold their breath underwater for how long? And lions, there's a reason they call them the king of the jungle. You know, that is your presence. That is your energy. So I feel like you could, to a less, that's a weird way to word that. I was going to say to a lesser person, take that how it resonates. I don't like to say anyone's better or less than each other. I think we're talking more about energies here and healed versus unhealed energies. Okay, I'm just trying to navigate what I'm being given, because Spirit wouldn't call anybody less than. So to a lesser energy, a more unhealed energy, you could come across anyway as more of an intimidating being, because you are kind of that lion spirit, ferocious, majestic, powerful, takes no shit, you know? That's who you're meant to be. You're meant to be that. But we just don't want to have you in a cage, in a box where you're unreachable. What else, Spirit? What else do you want pile 3 to know to help remove these blocks to their abundance? Yeah, big feline energy. Now look at this. We got 48 and 49. I swear to you, this combination came up in another reading with the Crow Oracle. So if that was in your reading, this is for you, 110%. That's really crazy. I am so positive that came up in another reading recently, where here we have 65 reduces to 11, and then 37 to a 10. So we have 11, 10, this kind of fading energy. Here we have 48 to 49, a building energy. Teamwork and territory. Yeah, I feel that this opportunity involves teamwork. It involves a spotlight on you. Very interesting. It involves a spotlight on you in some way. It is a a rare opportunity, a different opportunity than one that you've been given before. It's going to look very different. A spotlight on you where you are seen. And you have to build this with this team member, a partner, teamwork. You build this with someone. But your biggest hindrance to this coming to fruition right now is not taking that risk to lower your walls, to lower your boundaries. You are very spiritually in tune, very adept. You can do this. I feel like some of you may feel like, I've been living like this for so long. This is my safe space. I will never let anyone walk on me or harm me in that way again. But you can still have healthy boundaries while allowing people in, because you've done so much work in this period of solitude that you have created on your discernment. You are not the same person you were when you built those walls, and they were needed for that time, and now it needs to be free. You cannot keep a whale in a box. Truly, you couldn't keep a lion in a box. You know, I wouldn't keep any animal in a box, but for the sake of the reading, I can't fathom a whale being in a box. That is not your spirit. Your spirit is meant to be free. Look at how all these birds are just flying around. Like, you're meant to be seen, to be free, to be moving, to be approachable. It's coming through so strongly that whatever this opportunity is of you being seen. There is a death to... Okay, so how do we word this? In removing these boundaries, in lowering them, not removing, Spirit's reminding me, in lowering them, where you had a concrete fortress before, maybe we have like some sturdy sticks, okay, for boundaries. In removing them or lowering it, people can see you now. You can be seen for this opportunity to come through. And this opportunity also has to do with you having a spotlight on you. I do think you've done a lot of work on being more comfortable with being seen on such a grand scale. So I feel like this opportunity that's coming in is big, really big. Look how big these energies are. And that's your energy. And that's big energy. So what you're going to be doing, you're not going to be, and I am not putting down flipping burgers at a restaurant, but for you, that's not your energy. I think you'd be miserable working in a restaurant, to be perfectly honest with you. You have a big presence that is meant to be seen. Okay, so we have to do this work. We have to allow there to be some risk now. You have to trust that you have better judgment, that you're much more discerning of your energy, that you've learned how to say no, that you've learned how to speak up for yourself in a kind but firm way. These were things that you didn't really have before. You've done the work, okay? So now it's time to move out of that very restrictive, confined, isolated energy. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot. It's interesting. I'm almost kind of having like heart palpitations right now. And what it's giving me is almost an excitement, because you can feel this. You can sense it. You can feel, like, that's what we were saying in the beginning. You can sense this opportunity that is coming in, that is meant for you. And as it may feel kind of spooky to... Okay, so Spirit's telling me, how do you do this? How do you do this? You start small. You start by, when you go in to get a Starbucks or a baked good, or, you know, the gas station or something like that. Instead of just your basic, okay, here's what I want. Okay, thank you. Bye. You stop and make a conscious effort to connect with that person in conversation. You take an extra 3 minutes of your morning or whenever you do this to tell them you like their hair. Compliment them. That's such a good icebreaker. Be sincere, but compliment someone. And you're going to notice that it's anxiety inducing to step out of your comfort zone, to step out of that fortress and allow someone to see you, your humanness and your kindness that is innately part of you. And you're going to make someone's day, and it's going to feel risky and scary, just that simple act, but then you're going to let that ripple outward, and you're going to make it a conscious effort to do it at least once a day. At least once a day, you're going to find some random person when you're out and about and find something, anything that you like about them. Their smile, their earrings, their hair color, their shoes. And you're going to go out of your way to make eye contact with them and compliment them sincerely. That's how you start to break down these barriers. Because right now you're on autopilot. You are who you are. You have these boundaries. You go about your day. It's very rare for you to strike up that kind of a conversation with someone you don't know. Spirit's telling me that's how you start. And it's going to be like kind of a domino effect, a ripple effect. It's going to be much easier than you think. But that's how you start. You start small. And the beautiful thing is that you're going to be doing such a beautiful kindness to a random stranger who might really need it. That's the thing. Anytime someone has gone out of their way to compliment me when I'm in a drive-thru or if I go into a store, I carry that with me for the whole next day or maybe more than that. And it's like, wow, that person saw me. People need that more than you think they do. I think you're used to people seeing you. And when you start allowing yourself to see other people and then they see you in a new light, it's just life-changing. It's going to be life-changing. And that's what Spirit's asking of you. All right. Thank you so much, Spirit. Any final messages here about removing blocks to Group 3's abundance? Thank you. Let's see. So, again, we have, they want it reversed. We have death. We have justice, number 11 again, and number 13, which we had number 13 here, and 10 of Cups. You have been manifesting. They're telling me you've been manifesting this. You've actually been manifesting. The things you've been manifesting require you to do this. The rebirth, the death to the old way, actual change, for you to be seen as who you really are, for you to have these really emotional, deep, heart-centered connections with people, to be seen, to have that spotlight on you, but in the right way. And the thing that's holding you back, which is why they wanted these to stay reversed, is that old feeling of it being too risky to allow people in, to allow people to see you, to take the risk of being hurt again. I can almost hear you say, I'm done being hurt by people, so people don't get access to me anymore. And you needed that time, but it's time to move out of it to get what you've been manifesting. Those heart-centered connections. Because whoever this person is that's going to be offering you this opportunity through this work that you're doing is a heart-centered connection, is bringing balance to your life. That's really all that you want. Your abundance, you want heart-centered connections, you want balance, you want positive change, you want freedom to be who you are. the magical, magnetic, fierce person that you are, to be seen in your totality, and to not have fear that people are going to snatch that from you and hurt you in some way and then just leave you. But past does not dictate your present. You are a brand new person now, and you're ready. You're ready for this. Please don't allow yourself to be stuck in an old energy of, I've been hurt and people don't deserve me. You've learned the art of discernment now. You are ready to be seen. Please take that advice, because the world needs to see you. The world needs to see you and your magic more than ever right now. I'm going to get you one final card, because I've used this new deck for everyone. It's the Angels and Auras Oracle, and I've loved working with it. Can we have a final message for group number 3, please? A final message for group number 3. Whatever you want them to know, Spirit. Final message. Please like, share, and subscribe, or leave a comment. You could leave that card. You could leave a whale emoji, a lion emoji, a purple heart, or an owl. Those things help the channel immensely. That helps the reading reach more people who need to hear it. And it helps encourage me that, you know, these readings resonate with you. So it would mean so, so much to me. All right, final message for group 3, Spirit, please and thank you. Final message for group 3. Thank you so much. Look, we were just talking about this, and what's crazy is this came out, did it come out in pile 2? I think so. Career transition, change, excitement, opportunity, advancement. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The opportunity card comes out. Number 17, the star card in tarot, healing, spotlight, being seen. Okay. And then we have number 9, Sandalphon, turquoise, forgiveness, seeking, freedom, healing. And look at this turquoise. So this is very much giving me heart space, heart chakra healing, heart-centered healing, forgiving the pain, the chaos, the loss, the betrayal that people have, the way people have treated you in the past, and opening that door by allowing yourself to be seen to this beautiful career transition that is not only healing, but it gives you freedom. It is the door to your abundance. And then look at the bottom here. Yeah, you should really check out pile 2 if you feel called, because they also had this card, number 43. You're ready. You're ready. You're ready for all of this. It's time to let those barriers, those walls down. Let people see you. Please do that practice that we talked about of forcing yourself to find someone to connect with out of the blue that you've never met before every day. And it will get easier and easier, faster than you can imagine. Okay. This is your reading, group 3. Thank you so much for spending your precious time with me. I am so grateful. Again, if this reading resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, or leave a comment for me. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can go to my website at thecl.com. You can connect with me on pretty much every social media channel, or just send me an email and connect with me that way. I would love to hear from you. I love it so much. Yeah, so I'm excited for you. You can do this. You're ready. You're ready. All right. Please, more than anything, take excellent care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye.